having the opportunity to hear perspectives from sort of all ends of the spectrum of power and influence and wealth in New York City was something that was really valuable.
For me, the most meaningful experience during our time in New York was our time at the Bowery Mission. We were able to help serve food during the lunch hour.
For me, it really reinforced the value of hearing diverse perspectives.
Two of our members burst into tears because they were so touched and overwhelmed by what was going on with the Bowery Mission and how many people were so passionate about the cause.
It was great getting to see the people and seeing how everything worked and functioned from the inside out, and definitely from a different perspective than I'm used to seeing.
This was a transformative experience for me because I started to converse with some of the people receiving food and questioning what determinants led to them being on one side of the counter and, as Dartmouth students, us being on the other side of the counter.
Really, the Bowery Mission symbolized the idea that we all can make a difference on various levels. Working with Ramon in the kitchen and then listening to the CEO and seeing how all their roles are very important was very meaningful. But also going to the mosque really challenged a lot of my perceptions, and I think a lot of my friends as well, because a lot of the things that we know about Islam were really the things that are very outward about it and not the fundamental principles. And for me, that was very, very impactful.
I had never prayed in a mosque before, and I didn't really know what was going on, but we sort of had to adapt. I thought that was really valuable, and again, applying what we've learned all term long in a real world situation was something that can be a little abstract in the classroom, but having that capstone experience in New York City really solidified that for me.
I think it's very different and much more important to apply the lessons that you're learning outside of the classroom, and that's exactly what RGLP offered in New York City.
One of the really meaningful parts about the program was our excursion to the Whitney Museum. By putting myself into the situation where I have to bring my cultural competence and cultural experiences into observing these artwork made me think that culture is not limited to just what we discuss in class.
I think for me, RGLP has been mostly about at least taking the first step of challenging our assumptions.
The scavenger hunt on many levels made me confront this constant discomfort that I used to have.
Once we broke out of this fear, it was a really valuable experience to get to hear what the daily life of all these different faces and these different people were.
Because the Global Leadership Program made me comfortable with being uncomfortable, I think that made the entire experience in New York so much better.
Just being completely immersed in that situation when you have to constantly check of your pre-assumptions and constantly check your own actions when you're interacting with people.
RGLP has given me a lot of tools to really be present and sort of keep my assumptions in check, but also in terms of how do we communicate and empathize with people who are different from us.
I think it's easy to get stuck in the Dartmouth bubble at times, and RGLP and the capstone experience in New York City really reminded me that it's really important to break out of that bubble.
Having the experience in New York will help me to become a more confident leader here on Dartmouth's campus. I now have the opportunity to lead a more diverse group of people and to understand a diverse mindset when it comes to leadership and leadership roles. And without the New York experience, I definitely would not have the same confidence that I do carry now.